So in this session, we are going to start installing some softwares on the droplet that we have created in the previous session. Right. So let's move on to our table of contents sheet and just take stock of where we are. Yeah. So we have done these two things in the previous session. This is what we are going to do in this session: install the required software, on the droplet, which is by the way known as K8s master. We named it this last time. We are also going to start learning a little bit about Kubernetes architecture. So I'm going to show you a slide, and then we are going to keep building upon that as we progress in this series. Right. So that's the reason why I've written this as architecture is something which is going to be ongoing. All right. Let's come back to our documentation, Kubernetes Essentials. Yeah, we have done this much, right? Yes, and we are going to, the first thing that we'll do is we are going to install Docker on our droplet, right? Amongst other things that we'll do. So here is my connection to the droplets, right? One by one, I'm going to take up these steps and install these softwares for you. All right. In case at any one of these steps, A to F, the droplet says that something is logged or something, you just need to reboot, which is fine. You'll see as this moves ahead. All right. Okay. We are fine till here. Install Docker. Yeah, we are good. So that means it is not going to ask you to reboot the machine. Right. So it will take a couple of seconds to upload. Yeah. And then we have to start Docker. We have to enable Docker, and we'll check the Docker version. Right. While it is doing, just to recall, what is Docker? Docker is a container, an isolated environment to run your software. Kubernetes uses container technology. The most popular one is Docker, as we've learned in the first few sessions. You can use and configure other containers as well, like Rocket, like CRIO, like Podman, right? But since the most popular one is Docker, we're going to use Docker in this session, right? So we'll wait for Docker to get installed. Yeah, it is installed. Excellent. Let's start this as a service. All right, and also enable it. This is a step that you need to do on Ubuntu environment. Yeah, and let's go ahead and check the Docker version. Yeah, 19.03.6. If you are the curious one like me, you'll go ahead and check things like Docker images. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, all right. Okay, so we have installed Docker now. Let me just go ahead and embolden it. Right. We are going to now install a component called as kubelet. Just the binary version of it, not the full-fledged version, right? And we'll come back to that. So I think now is a good time for me to introduce the architecture of Kubernetes, right? So here's a slide which is going to tell you what the architecture looks like. Typically, as it happens in the big data systems, Kubernetes architecture is based on master and slave architecture. So here is a master which will have lots of components, which we will install each one of them as we progress in this series. And on the right hand side, this box, you will see a couple of nodes, right, which are also called as worker machines, right? Each one of these worker machines are supposed to run a software called as kubelet, right? Kubelet is like a daemon process. It is going to continue, keep on continuously running. And as you later see, kubelet is a software which helps you deploy your container, right, automatically. So there'll be a particular place where you put your your scripts in the format which kubelet expects, and kubelet will pick it up and deploy it, right? keep in mind that the kubelet over here is not a full-fledged implementation of kubelet. All right, just a binary version. We will build on top of it. Right. Okay. So that being under our belt, let me just come here and see the way of installing kubelet. All right. So you install kubelet like this. Yeah. It'll take a while. In the meantime, let me just go to the goals, table of content. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We are fine on this. All right. Yeah. So it'll take a while, say about a minute or so to install the kubelet. We'll wait for it. Yes, it has got installed. If you say kubelet, it is going to start the. That's fine. Yeah, this means that it is got nicely installed. Now let's go back to our documentation here. Right. What is the next thing that we will install? A tool called as kubectl. Now kubectl is a tool which will help you interact right now with kubelet and later on with the entire master. Right. So that is the next thing that we will install. Right. Just the binary version of it. Right. So that we can interact with the cluster. Right. Later on, when your these components, other components, master, none of these components are running by the way right now. Right. The only thing which you have installed is this and Docker. Right. Once you have these components started running, what we will do is we will we will make these, the kubectl interact with kubecontroller or the master, and we'll make use of the kubectl software also. So kubectl, get used to it because you will be running this this command a lot, right? It is like, in MySQL, how you do MySQL, go to the shell and then you start interacting with your database, right? It is that kind of a shell environment to interact with your cluster. All right, so let's come back here. Yeah, we've done this. Okay, that should be pretty much it for this session. Yeah, all the required software on the droplet and a little bit of Kubernetes architecture, which is this. Excellent. So that should be it for this session. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.